currywurst.
Currywurst. I can't do your
It's not
roll
a
of
curly,
the
it's
R.
not a currywurst, it's a currywurst.
Currywurst.
There you go, perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. All right, Nick, I'm super excited to show you some fine German cuisine. On the one hand, have a currywurst, and we have a traditional German homemade potato salad. This potato salad is actually a recipe from my great-grandmother. When I say recipe, it's not written down. Now, on the currywurst, this is actually there's a super interesting story behind it, because after World War II, when food supplies were in short supply and there were not a lot of groceries around, there was this German lady in Berlin who had a genius idea. She was negotiating with the British soldiers in what she could get her hands on to feed the people of Berlin. And she then paired up ketchup with curry powder, which was a spice that was available, and a few other smaller ingredients, put it all together and served it with a traditional German sausage, cutting it in slices. And that was the birth of the currywurst.
Thank you for that explanation. It was lovely. Let me take a moment to just explain you what I have on the plate for you to try as well. This is the aubergine curry, and with just onions on the side as well. It's very simple. It's small aubergines which have been used and a lot of different masalas in it, and then just fried on both sides with a bit of chili. And to pair the curry, we have a few things, and let me walk you through why you have these many different items, different small bowls in front of you as well.
Absolutely.
Starting with the green, it's of course the chutney to give that flavor, to break the wholesome masalas as well for you. And then of course we have yogurt with a bit of chili and salt in it as well. And we have jaggery. Jaggery is a form of sugarcane, which is super important in our dishes as well, where if you have something spicy, you have something savory, you need to have something sweet on the dish when you serve as well. So that's why this is there as well. Let me also present the Indian bread. It's actually not any other Indian bread, and the reason is it's not made out of wheat. It's made out of a pearl millet, which back home it's called bajri. It's a type of a grain which is available a lot in South Asia and actually eaten pretty much every single day in the state I am from or the city I am from as well. Should we try?
Yes, let's go for it. It's best enjoyed eating it with the hands, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
What do you think?
It's delicious.
I'm very excited to try this dish as well. Is there anything you would like me to explain? How should I start?
Absolutely, yeah. So you actually also have to take your hand and grab the potato salad and I'm joking. Of course, that's not how you have to do it. Is it good?
Really nice. I think the sausage with the sauce and then that hint of curry powder on the top makes a huge difference as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but you can correct me. There's a hidden trick behind the measurements around the potato salad.
So here's me frantically trying to make it work yesterday in the kitchen, right? And calling up my grandmother, and then she tells me, yeah, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and that's how it works. And I'm like, but grandma, what are the measurements? And then she's like, okay, Jannis. So the way in which I do it is I take that special vinegar, and I won't tell you what kind of vinegar it is, so that it stays a little bit secret. But then I make an M on the potatoes in the big bowl, because your great-grandmother's name was Mariechen.
Yeah.
It starts with the letter M, and that's the measurement for the vinegar. In Germany, it's customary to eat potato salad with sausages over Christmas. Many families eat this dish today. It's a fairly simple dish, but very delicious. They don't usually pair it with curry sauce, but I wanted to combine the two dishes for you to try here today. But of course, the German cuisine, is much more elaborate than just potato salad and sausages. Usually, what features is there's a piece of meat in many instances with some sort of sauce or gravy, and a lot of vegetables. Often it's root vegetables, which also grow in Germany. There's much more than just sausages and potatoes, but I couldn't resist going into that stereotype, because actually today a lot of Germans still eat it. So you needed to try it.
Thank you, Jannis. One of the things which you already mentioned, the food for us is a lot to be eaten with hands as well. That's the flavors, and there's a saying back home as well, that brings out the flavor, the last bit of the flavor when you eat as well. Indian food, when it's said spice, it's not necessarily meaning it's spicy.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It can also mean has a lot of spices in it, but not necessarily spicy. There's also this notion that Indians eat spicy food. That's also not true. It's actually many different spices together as well.
And Nick, you know, we've played this game before, right? So if you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be? And for me, it's very clearly Indian food, because it's just so flavorful, like what you've been describing, right? With the insane amount of spices, and I've seen you prepare food, right? And you put this and you put that in, and like the combination of it all, it's just like an amazing explosion in your mouth. It's just so delicious. The only part of Indian food where I draw the line is with the sweets. The sweets,
oh yes,
they're a bit too sweet. They're so sweet. It's like, wow.
Yes.